Welcome back to the Modern Mompreneur podcast. I am your host, Day Smith, fellow mompreneur, talking all things about how we manage in this world of raising a family and building a business. And today I have a very special guest, Miss Lori Aikman. She is here sharing with us on her journey through mompreneurship. Welcome to the show, Lori.
It paused. So
Yes.
I was like, oh, she froze. Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad to talk to you today, to get into your career and how you balance everything and just the shifts that you're making in business. So for you guys who want to know a little bit more about Lori, she is a family nurse practitioner in Central Florida with a passion for functional medicine and wellness. I love that. While practicing conventional primary care, she started seeing woman after woman, with the same symptoms, fatigue, weight loss, mood swings, other hormonal symptoms. And when her conventional medicine training left, her patients without answers, it led her to look at functional medicine. So when she's using functional medicine principles and functional lab testing, she's able to be found. She found the queen bee of medicine, and she founded it. So I like it. A little Beyonce little nod there, and a direct primary care telemedicine practice for women only in Florida. So that's what she's doing now in Florida. And Queen Bee Medicine serves women in Florida from ages 18 to 64, where she is able to provide that comprehensive, holistic, and compassionate care that the women today, are looking for. She's married to Devitt, and they have two children, Wylan and Adeline, and a baby number 3 arriving this year in June. So she's going to be a mom of 3. Adeline, I probably said it wrong. Adeline,
That's
that
okay.
looks more accurate.
Uh,
They live on the Space Coast of Central Florida. She can tell us about that. And spends her free time with family and enjoying outdoors. So welcome, Lori, officially to the Modern Mompreneur podcast. Yay!
Thank
I need to
you.
get
Thank
some
you for having me.
here. Yes, some fake applause.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
There we go. So yes, so tell us more. I know I read your bio, but tell us,
Yeah.
Who are you and who do you serve?
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm Lori. Career wise, I'm a nurse practitioner. So I've been a nurse practitioner, I don't know, a while, since 2011. So however many years, going on 12 years now. And kind of like my bio says, I was working, and I have traditional medicine background. Like I always like to say, we're taught to look for big bad things. You don't have cancer, all right, you're fine. We look for things that kill you, kind of. But I found I was working in a general practice, family practice setting, and I kept seeing the same thing over and over again. I kept seeing women, a lot of times moms, that were coming in and they were like, my body's just not the same anymore. I can't sleep. I'm tired all the time. I feel, everybody was always like, I think it's my thyroid. I think I need my thyroid tested, and in just these different symptoms that a lot of times we would, the medical literature would say they're vague symptoms. You have all these vague symptoms. And just conventional medicine, we're not really set up unless there's like, okay, you meet criteria for this diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
We don't, women just kind of get like, oh, it's part of being a mom, right? You're getting older, you're nearing menopause, just a lot of our symptoms get dismissed. But I could tell, these women weren't just like being dramatic, and, there was something really going on with them.
Yeah.
And it just kind of led me to figure, like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is, I would hate to feel like that if I felt one way and then now felt another way. And so basically a functional medicine is, a lot of times we call it root cause medicine. So we're taking a deeper dive to see what's really going on. And a lot of times we're looking at things, like we're looking at shifts in the body happening before thyroid, for example. We can see your thyroid function is starting to be off before maybe you have hypothyroidism or you have hyperthyroidism or something, or, so we're looking at more optimal health and we're seeing patterns shift before you necessarily meet criteria for a diagnosis, medication. And so basically, long story short, that led me to be able to start really helping women, because I could say, hey, this is what's going on in your body. Yeah, your hormones are changing, and this is the reason why
Mm-hmm.
you don't feel like you used to, and you don't feel good in your body anymore. And a lot of times when I go through these things with women, they're like, so I'm not crazy. A lot of times I think in regular medicine settings, a lot of times, especially if a doctor has or a provider hasn't gone through something like that themselves, there's
Mm-hmm.
can be like a lack of compassion, and it's, again, women just kind of get dismissed. If we look at, just it takes a long time to get a diagnosis. Sometimes if women are, I've gone to 5 doctors and finally somebody told me what the problem is. So the women I serve are typically, I would say the majority of the women I serve are typically in their 30s and 40s. And they're
Okay.
they're, busy working women, a lot of times moms, and their body just isn't the same anymore. They're like, there's these changes going on, and they're not willing to settle for, it's normal, you're just getting older. They want to feel good, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to help them, and I love to help them um understand their body and start feeling good again. So that's
That's
kind of, to sum it
great.
up, what I do.
I love it. I love that you're speaking to women who are usually not dismissed, but just accepting of what we're at right now. You do feel fatigued because you probably have kids and you're running all over the place.
Hmm.
You may feel like you are gaining more weight, or you having trouble with your weight, not just because you're getting older, but maybe you're not able to dedicate as much time to eating healthy. You're like drive through on the way to practice, right? Or, you
Hmm.
know, just trying to
Yeah,
make it
yeah.
work, or kids getting fed and not able to work out. So those things happen, but it's also still important to recognize that you can get a little bit more support and help with whatever you're trying to do, be healthier or feel better or look better or whatever. So I love that you're serving that demographic, because a lot of times we dismiss, as moms, as busy women, our
Hmm.
health in a sense because we're
Yes.
so preoccupied.
Yes.
So great. So tell me a little bit more about Queen Bee Medicine and how
Yeah.
you serve people in functional medicine specifically, and the functional lab testing. Like, how does all that work with Queen Bee?
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep
yeah.
saying
So
Queen Bee because I love the name.
yes, yes. Well, and it's funny, that last conversation, what you were just saying, that's how that name came about, because even
Mhm.
myself in my life, but then I see in so many women where, like you just said, their self-care, their health is on the back burner, and everybody else is first. So like, part of that is like, I want you to step into putting yourself first, putting yourself, and that's sometimes like what I'm helping clients do. I'm like, I just always remember this one conversation where we're like, you need to get a house cleaner. Like, stop trying to do everything yourself, give yourself a break. Like, how much time and energy would that buy back if you just got somebody to come in and clean your house? So that's kind of where
Mhm.
the name Queen Bee comes from, is just that nod to, let's like put you on one of the front burners again, and not just, you know, sacrificing yourself on behalf of
Yeah.
everyone, but to the detriment of your health.
Yeah.
But so yes,
Love it.
was previously working. So I've been a nurse practitioner for many years. I Just to speak to my entrepreneurial journey, I guess, I was acting more as a health coach with clients online for a while, and this year made the transition to telemedicine. So in one way, it does limit me a little bit in location, that I can only work with patients in the states where I'm licensed. We'll be expanding to other states down the road, but it allows me to prescribe medication and do a lot more for my patients. Just being in that's just more of like I don't know, details there.
Mhm.
But what that looks like is, we kind of offer a different range of services. So we're direct primary care, which means we don't take insurance. We just have like a monthly membership fee.
Okay.
And you get unlimited. So it's not like, oh, well, you're out of network, so I can't come see you. We can serve anyone, except people
Okay.
who have Medicare or Medicaid, just because
Okay.
the laws are funny. They don't let us work with them.
Okay.
but we have some different plans and things like that where we're working more on weight loss. But the functional side of things is typically the most common test I use with my clients is a comprehensive hormone panel where we're looking at all the hormones. We do a combination of a blood panel where we're looking at full thyroid, and then my favorite test to use is the Dutch Plus, which it looks at the sex hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, but it also looks at the adrenal hormones. So a lot of people have heard the phrase adrenal fatigue. And I do find that a lot of the women that I'm working with, because again, they wear many hats, they're doing all the things, their adrenals are not functioning optimally. And that's causing a lot of weight gain, fatigue, mood swings, trouble getting pregnant. I see sometimes in clients, different things like that. And so it's taking a deeper look, again, that root cause. So we're taking a deeper look at the hormones and seeing, okay, this is our underlying issue and this is what's causing all the problems. And now here's how we fix it.
I like it. So they're able to go get the labs done, and then they're working with you one-on-one via telemedicine for the follow-up and things like that. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet a lot of our listeners are mompreneurs, and some of them are full-time, so they don't have that corporate insurance, and so having something like what you're offering is beneficial because they can, continue to get that care that they need. It's actually more specialized than like a traditional primary care doctor or provider, but they're able to, still see someone regularly who's dialed into their female, needs, the hormonal things that are happening. So I do like that. So if anyone is listening and in Florida for now, has a desire, I think that'd be great for you to consider, especially since you are self-employed and maybe the traditional medical routes are more expensive for sure, but also not as convenient and as intentional about how they treat someone like you, busy moms, mompreneur. I love it.
Well, and even, I think of a woman I talked to recently who said, oh, I've got her thyroid labs are starting to get off, and her doctors referred her to an endocrinologist, and she's got to wait 3 months before she can see the endocrinologist when we can do that. We can start taking a look and get her feeling better, and just, that's really the niche that we're serving is that type of woman that needs that. Our hormones are changed. We want our hormones to feel good so we can feel good, be good so we can feel good. So
yes, that is so. I love that even though, that's a great place to be in to help bridge the gap, right? You want answers now. You want to have some support, and it's looking at different things. So for sure. Well, I'm glad you told me about the Queen Bee and where the name came from, and I love it. I want to shift gears and talk about you are early in starting your business, but you have clients, families. What has been some challenges along the way with like building your business and finding the clients and stepping away from your traditional job and now branching out on your own? Like, what's that journey been like?
Yeah. Honestly, this is my 5th year in business. Has it been fun? So I started it's just been an evolution. My biggest lesson over the years has been just continually taking action. I started with a desire to, really help people with their lifestyle. And I started with just helping people with their nutrition, out of the gym where my husband and I went. And then that turned into, okay, I found the functional medicine. Well, let me do a little more there. And so I've really had that coaching business is more what I'm doing over the last few years. And then, definitely finding clients is, I think with any entrepreneur that does any kind of lead generation, right, is huge. And so just figuring out who's the type of woman that I serve, with working over, the last 2 years now, more in this niche, figuring out who that woman is, what her needs are, and how can I best serve her. That's been quite a journey. And then just finding the business model that best aligns with how I can help somebody, right? I thought
Okay.
a while ago I would get away from medicine and do more the coaching route. And now I'm finding myself, okay, well, I think actually sticking with medicine, traditional medicine, or, not coaching, doing telemedicine, I think can be,
Yeah.
it's almost like it's combining all these different journeys I've been in. So a little bit of nutrition coaching and a little bit of the functional
Okay.
medicine, functional labs, plus, hey, you need a referral to an orthopedic because you injured your knee. We can, I'm excited about this practice just because we're able to do so much for our patients and clients in this setting. But it's been
Yeah.
a journey getting here and figuring out how to do that. So
Yeah, I bet. I bet. So you mentioned nutrition, but also obviously the medical side. What about the fitness side? I know you mentioned you and your husband are, have been in the gym. Are you incorporating that into your business at
Mhm.
all, or is that something that you prefer?
Yeah. So all of our memberships, so again, it's a membership-based practice. So all of our memberships include access to an app the app is called Trainerize, but we're able to, because everyone needs, right? That was something I found. I think what led me to doing more health coaching years ago was that everybody needs nutrition. We all need nutrition and movement, and we need, like, I need it, but I need somebody like checking in with me, like, hey, how's that going? How many workouts did you get in this week? Right. So all of our plans, our basic plan up to our like most supportive or an intensive plan, does include access to meal plans and workout routines. So I'm really excited about that, because I think
Yeah.
that helps to justify the cost if you're going, well, maybe I have insurance, but so it seems silly to pay for this, but it's like you're getting nutrition coaching and workouts and healthcare all in one. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. That's not normally, included in anybody's plan unless you have
No.
some sort of benefit corporate job. And still, it's not all integrated. Like there's one person who is looking at everything. The medical side, does it line up with
Mm.
nutrition? Does it line up with fitness? And then if you need to be referred out, you probably have like referral partners or people that you trust to kind of make that process easier. So I do like that. It's really a holistic
Yeah.
view, holistic medicine practice. I do think so. It's
Yeah.
good.
Thank you. That's one of the adjectives I use when I talk about the
Oh,
practice, is that we are,
good,
and I
good.
have someone who will be doing, where myself as a practitioner, I'm doing more the medical visits. And then I've got like a success coach as the name we've given her along the way, who is
Mhm.
doing more of that. Hey, how's your diet going? Do you need help do you need some recipe ideas? Just basics like that. Cause I know, especially as a mom, right? Like cooking for yourself and your family and all that can be a challenge. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then the app is great because I'm always like on Pinterest trying to find a good recipe, or if I can have something right
yeah.
there, like give it to me, the apps for fitness, the apps for food, all that good stuff. So so where would a client like start with you? If someone's listening here, what would be a good place to kind of start working with you? What are some things that they may need to be having symptoms with, or is there any type of like telltale signs to say maybe I need to look into work with someone a little bit different?
Sure, sure. Yeah. I would say, well, one sign, something I just hear from a lot of women, is that you're going into your doctor
Mhm.
and they're just they're telling you your labs are normal, everything's normal, everything's fine. You're just getting, you're not getting any answers, and you're getting dismissed, and you feel like, well, my body doesn't feel normal, but you're telling me I feel normal, because I hear that
Mhm.
from every almost every woman that I work with. um I talked to a woman
Yeah.
yesterday. She has more digestive symptoms, and she's been to a gastroenterologist and had all kinds of workup. So that is, you know, definitely a sign that you need somebody who's going to look at things more functionally and look at root cause of symptoms.
Yeah.
I would say the top complaints or symptoms that I hear from women are trouble losing weight. And then especially you're still doing the things that used to work for you. You used to be able to exercise, and you are exercising, you're eating healthy, and it's just not working.
Yeah.
That's usually a top complaint I hear. I hear fatigue, just like low energy, like I'm drinking coffee, even though I'm getting a good night's sleep. I feel like I need a nap every afternoon. Complaints like that, are that's pretty common.
Back to the head, right?
Yeah. I can't give up my Celsius. I hear a lot of that. But and then other symptoms can be kind of vary from there. I hear digestive issues. So, bloating or food sensitivities, things like that can be an issue. People can have, mood swings, really bad PMS. I've seen that a lot of like, oh gosh, my husband knows when it's is like on edge when it's coming. That's not normal to really have that severe of mood swings, or maybe new depression, new anxiety that's not been typical for you in the past.
Wow.
Losing your hair, your skin changing, things like that, just kind of things you're like going, I think my hormones might be off. These sound like hormonal symptoms. That's usually most of the women that we are working with are telling us those type of things when they come in.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I have so many things you can relate to in there where you may think it's all attributed to just getting older, which could be, but there could be so much more behind that you could actually, not fix, but like change so that you can go back to having a little bit better quality of life, not be so tired, not jeopardizing your health. And so I think that's really great that you listed those out, because I bet a lot of people are like, oh, well, I do feel that way. And I was wondering, but I didn't know that it was something that I could even be seen for, or, your fatigue. Okay, get more sleep. And you're like, well, I am sleeping, but, so I think that that's really great that you like listed it out. So if you're listening, I definitely think, something to, whether it's Lori or someone else who is in that same field, go and explore it and see if there's something that you could do to help you be your best self, really, and show up. Because you got kids to raise, you got a business to run, you got a corporate job, all the things. You got to have it all. Try to be your best self. So that'd be my thought.
Exactly. Well, yeah, as an entrepreneur, if you can't do what you need to do because your health is, you're struggling in your health, right? You need to take care of your body so that you can be most successful in your business too. So.
Absolutely. Yes. So, well, let's switch gears and talk about this other side of life, right?
Okay. Yeah.
your life as a mompreneur and a mom. So, you're expecting a baby now. Waylon and Adeline are how old? How old are your other two kids?
So my son will be 3 next week, his third birthday, and then my daughter is 18 months tomorrow. So I've got
goodness.
little
you got
ones.
Little 3 under 3 in a minute. That's amazing.
Up there.
So so you started your business before you were a mom, before you had kids. So what has the transition been like, juggling the family aspect and still being able to run your business?
Yeah. There was a time. Yes, it's definitely, and I will say my kids have been, some of my motivation too of.
Did you catch that?
I'm sorry.
I said, did you catch that part?
Yeah, it froze for a second, but you were saying like how the transition from, as being a mompreneur and balancing home life is what I caught.
Right. I think we're good now.
Good. Okay.
Cool.
So, my kids, have really been a big motivator for me. I've had this desire to be an entrepreneur for, a while now, I guess 5+ years now. And honestly, when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter was when I was like, I just had this desire in me, like, I got to make this work. For her, she needs to see me fulfill my potential, right? I don't want to not chase after have her see me, not chase after my dreams and my desires and like put that part of me on hold. But there's been the challenge of I'm trying to build a business. I'm working on building a business, which takes time, but I want to be present and I don't want to miss this season of life. So,
Yeah.
my kids go to like a daycare preschool, Monday through Friday, like 9 to 2, which pretty much allows me to work part-time hours,
Okay.
which has been just like a really great balance for us. I mean, they've done so well. It's really helped how we got in there was my son had a speech delay and our speech therapist recommended this preschool. And he has
Okay.
he's graduated from speech therapy, and has just done
Yeah.
so well. It's really been good for him because I had a little bit of mom guilt of like, I'm not being a stay-at-home mom, but I don't think I could. I'm not built to be a stay-at-home
Me
mom.
neither. Me
But yeah, but I went through this transition at the end of last year too, or just this like where I felt like there was so much I needed to do, but
neither.
and I felt resentful of like my kids at times and like I don't have time to do what I need to do, and I just kind of hit this point where I was like, I'm going to be very intentional in the 4 or 5 hours that I have
Yeah.
in the mornings when they're gone. I'm going to get done the things that move the needle in my business. And when they're home, I'm not going to work and I'm going to be there 100% mom and be present with them.
Yeah.
And that was definitely just something that a choice I had to make
Yeah.
last year. And I feel like we have gotten to a good place of where I know the things I need to do and I can be, I think sometimes when you're early in building your business, you're doing a lot of things, but they don't necessarily move your business forward, right? You're kind of
Yeah.
doing some busy work. And I think I was doing some of that. And so I've gotten very clear on things I need to do that move my business forward. And
Yeah.
then when they're home, I'm mom and I'm not trying to like double dip and let me work a little bit while you guys are,
Mhm.
watching TV or something. So
Yeah. Well, I commend you on that balance because that's a lot of times what mompreneurs, including myself, struggle with is how
mm-hmm.
much to give to the kids, how much to give to the business without feeling that guilt, you
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
that mom guilt or mompreneur guilt, really, because you feel guilty for not working your business and you feel guilty for not, being with the kids as much. So
Yes.
kudos to you for having that discipline. And also, you're bringing another little one into the family. So what are you thinking about? Have you explored, getting more help? Get that cleaning lady who you were talking about. You need that
Yeah,
girl.
yes. Yes. So, my plan is, okay, there we go. My plan is, so the baby is due early June. And
Mhm.
we're really just the goal is to get to a place, just, I have a financial goal in mind for the business to get to before June.
Mhm.
I may have like another nurse practitioner cover my patients, for a time,
Mhm.
just depending on how delivery goes.
Yeah.
But my ultimate goal is to hire other nurse practitioners and to scale to other states. So having
Mhm.
a baby might just force me to do that a little earlier than I might have planned for. But
Yeah.
yes, the plan is then my mom thankfully lives near us and is very involved with my kids. I'll plan to she'll help me with the baby some,
Yeah.
and then I may get a babysitter some here and there,
Yeah.
but just so I can still maintain that, part-time hours. It's about 20 hours a week that I really try
Mhm.
to work, 15 to 20, and then
Yeah.
have, with the kids the other time.
Love it. Love it. Well, if anyone can do it, it's us mompreneurs. Okay. We know how to get
Yes.
it done. And I'm sure it'll all be as streamlined as possible. And whoever needs to come into your world to help you will be able to do that. So I love it.
Yeah.
Well, let's switch gears to my favorite part of the podcast, and that's the lightning round. I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and I want you to just, whatever the first thing that pops in your head, say it. You don't even have to explain it if you don't want to. Okay?
Sure.
All right. So, what are 3 words to describe you today?
Oh, there we go. It froze.
Okay. 3 words to describe you today.
Me today. Um, I honestly, and I've been working to get here. I'm really at a place where I feel very at peace,
Mhm.
and aligned, and just happy in the stage of what I've built, where we're going, and just where I'm at, be able to be with my family too. And it's just been, my mentor will tell you the last year was not that way. So it's taken work to get here.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, what would you tell your 18-year-old self today?
Oh my gosh. Stop worrying about what people think.
Mm, that's words of wisdom. There we go. Um, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you to be a modern mompreneur?
Can you repeat that one if you said it? I didn't hear the third
Yes,
one.
ma'am. What does it mean to you to be a modern mompreneur?
Mm. A modern mompreneur, what comes to mind is the things that we were talking about earlier, is having balance. Yes, being successful in your business, but whatever your definition of success is, but still not letting your business run your life, still being
Yeah,
there, and having that family life that you desire to. I guess having it all.
love it. Having it all. Ain't that right? I love it. What do you love about being a mom?
Um, oh my gosh. I don't my kids are just so funny. They just crack me up, and just watching them, like my son, I will give an example. My son right now, his imagination has developed, and it's he's at that stage, so like he'll ride his little scooter through the house, and he'll go, "Ticket, please." You see him like playing, and like he's imagining different, it's just so cool to see that, like where his brain wasn't doing that before and now it is. It's funny to watch their personalities and just watch them grow and develop. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love it. That's a great age. That 3-year-old's like coming to his own. I love it. Um, what do your kid, well, let's say, what do you want your kids to think of you as an entrepreneur? I know you mentioned your daughter, but what do you
Mhm.
want them to think?
Yeah. Oh, think of me as an entrepreneur. I really just two things that come to mind is that balance, and not working myself to death, and being able to be successful without, you know, never seeing them because I'm always working. But the other things that comes to mind is like self trust. It's taken me out to almost 40 years old to figure out how to listen more clearly to my intuition and stuff like that. And that's something I really want to teach them from early age, is trust your gut. Don't pay attention to what somebody
Yeah.
else says, or you think somebody else wants you to do. What is your, you know, intuition, your gut, whatever you want to call it, spirit,
Mhm.
leading you to do, because you're going to be most fulfilled or most successful or most, on the right track in your life if you follow that. And it
I
just took
love
me a
that.
long time to figure that out.
I love that. Self-trust. That's such a valuable lesson that we don't even
Mm,
think about teaching kids, that it's going to take them so far in life,
mm-hmm.
at this
Yeah.
development. What are you reading, watching, or listening to? Whatever you
Mm-hmm.
do. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, reading. I mean, my honest answer is I'm reading a bunch of medical literature right now, because for my podcast, just research for my podcast. But listening to, I've been listening
Yeah.
to, and sorry if, I don't know if anybody cusses on your, I'm reading the
You
book
can say whatever you
by,
want, Lori.
okay. I'm reading the book, or listening to it on Audible. It's Rich as Fuck by Amanda Francis.
Okay.
Um, and it's been, it's all about money mindset,
Okay.
and just, um, for me, it's just been figuring out worthiness. I think for a
Mhm.
long time, I thought you just had to hustle and bear down and just accept what you get. It's just transformed. It's more for me, it's been about more than money, but about, like accepting help even, I would be like, nope, I can do it myself, just because it was like, I would look, I need to just do everything myself and not accept help from people. And I think just receiving so much in life, love and help and money and things too. So it's been an interesting read or listen.
Rich as fuck. Love it.
Yep. Yeah.
Y'all don't want to hear that. Okay. Love it. Okay, and then last question: what is bringing you joy right now? What lights you up?
Oh, yeah. I don't. We're just. I feel like in a kind of fun place in life with our family of where where our family is growing, our kids are exhausting, of course, because they're little and they're needy, but at the same time it's such like a rich time in life, and I'm just thankful that my husband and I are able to just be present in this time of life and enjoy it. So
Yeah, I love it. And I love your perspective because this is you're in the thick of it, girl. Like the 3 kids, the 2 little ones, and then you're pregnant. Like that takes so much from your body, and your mentality and your, so you being enjoying this moment, it's just so beautiful to hear. So I always advise moms and myself even to think of it as what you get to do. You get to live this life where you got these beautiful, healthy kids. Your husband's there. You're living out your dream in business. You're able to conceive and have kids. That in itself is amazing. And be present with them. And man, you're living the dream. You really are. So I'm happy that you said that. And thank you for sharing everything. But the lightning round is always my favorite. We learn a little bit more about you. So thank you.
Thanks.
So as we wrap up, tell the audience, you're welcome. Tell the audience where they can find you and how to connect with you.
Yeah. So I'm probably most active on Instagram as far as social media. I have my, the practice has an Instagram account, Queen Bee Medicine. And then I have an account as well, just where, I have some goals down the road, maybe write a book, things like that. So I post more of that kind of stuff, my podcast on there, but that one is just at Lori Aikman. And if you're interested in the practice, I'll send you a link for our interest call, or they can just go to queenbeemedicine.com and click on the link to book an interest call. And maybe check if you're hearing this way down the road, maybe check our website, and maybe we've expanded to, I know you're in Texas. I have a previous Texas license that I will be reactivating down the road. So who knows? I could be in your state.
Yeah. So I'm sure one thing I like is, you may have access to people who do similar work that you may network with.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah. I can refer you if you,
she can refer you. So perfect.
Yes.
Good deal. So check Lori out at queenbeemedicine.com and at Queen Bee Medicine on Instagram, and Lori Aikman on Instagram too for her personal page. So I invite you guys to follow her, keep abreast of her journey as a mompreneur, and support her. And if you feel like you need that type of support from a holistic functional medicine professional, I feel like Lori has it all ready to go for you and can support you. Really tap into your own healthcare needs as a woman, as a mompreneur, and so you can live your best self. So anything else you want to say, Lori, before we close out today?
No, just thank you for having me. And I hope, I'm always happy too, if somebody like just has a question, you're like, I live in Alaska, so I know you don't, just still, I'm happy to, I've had people message me and say, I'm having labs done with my doctor, what should I get done? Different questions like that. So I'm always happy to chat with people and just help them find their next step, even if it's not, with my practice. So shoot me a DM, or somehow, get in contact with me somehow. I'm happy to help always.
Yeah, hit her up, guys. If you saw it, listen to the show. If hit her up and ask her if she's open, and definitely support her. If you know anyone in the Florida area, tell them to check out Queen Bee Medicine so you can be served there now, and then later we're gonna be worldwide. We're gonna be everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Lori, for being such a gracious guest. I know it took us a while to get us recorded, but we're here and it's going to be airing soon. So thank you guys for listening. And I just want to encourage all the mompreneurs out there to always give yourself permission to follow your dreams, because you never know whose lives you can touch when you are living at your full potential. So thank you guys for listening. Feel free to like, subscribe, share this episode with any fellow mompreneurs or dadpreneurs, anyone who feel like be motivated from Lori's story and want to get connected with her. Until next time, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed. Thank you.